Hello everyone, I'm Valmore. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today's dish is one that is served during the feast to celebrate the year's harvest. And it's a very simple recipe, and you may be used to me pairing those up with a beverage, but I'm going to take a bit of extra time today to just talk about where I am in this journey. So, I'm almost through the heroesfeast cookbook. I'm at about 20 recipes left, and I'm starting to look toward what's next. There's all kinds of cookbooks out there that are nerdy in nature. There's multiple Lord of the Rings themed cookbooks, or World of Warcraft themed cookbooks, or Skyrim. Those ones all seem like they would be very samey, that medieval fantasy style tavern fare. Those could all be fun, those could all be interesting. Or something weirder along the lines of there's an Overwatch cookbook or a Fallout cookbook. Those to me seem like they might have some very interesting backstory to them, as well as coming with some very tasty meals. And so what I'm trying to do is just get an idea, what other cookbooks have you seen out there? Is there specific directions you want me to go? Do you want more of the medieval tavern fare? Or do you want to see things a little more off the wall or modern? Like I said, the Overwatch cookbook looks to have a little more of a modern flair to it, and a much larger international taste to it as well. So, what kind of things are you looking for? What other cookbooks have you seen out there? Just let me know in the comments or on Twitter or Instagram. Just give me an idea of what kind of cookbooks you have seen and what you might be interested in seeing more of. Now, without further ado, back to this recipe. This is High Harvest Puree. Let's get started. So for this, I'm going to peel and remove the seeds from the butternut squash, and I'm going to chop some thyme. Now I'm going to put the squash into the bowl. Now I'm going to add in some cloves of garlic that haven't been peeled. When you're doing this at home, you do want to peel off most of the outer layers of the very papery skin, but once you get down to that last layer of skin that just becomes a little harder and is where the real problem is, you'll want to leave that on when you're roasting it. Now I'm going to add in some extra virgin olive oil, some salt, and some pepper. And I'm going to toss that around in the oil. And I'm going to spread it out on my baking pan. And now this is going to go in the oven for about 30 minutes. Then I will put on the chopped up thyme and put it back in the oven for about another 10. This puree is a common staple on the table during High Harvest Tide, which is a feast held around the autumnal equinox to celebrate the land and the harvest of the year. An elven meal is generally a small and private affair, so a multi-course feast like this would be an extravagant event. And as we've seen, the elves are mostly vegetarian, and with this being a feast to honor the harvest, I suspect that there isn't a lot of meat on the table. The feast probably consists of a lot of squashes, roasted potatoes, and other vegetables, mushrooms and nuts that have been foraged from the forest, and probably finished with some fruit and cream for a dessert. Now that that's out, I've taken the garlic out of the skin and I'm going to put it back in, and now I'm going to mash everything up. And now finish that with a little bit of salt, some pepper, and a little olive oil. So I thought this was really good. Your enjoyment of this dish is going to depend on how much you like butternut squash, because this is just a very simple preparation, roasted with garlic and a little bit of olive oil. But this simple preparation did highlight the flavors of the squash very well. A little bit of sweetness with that nice earthiness to it, I do wish it was a little more complex. A feast dish like this would probably have been sitting on that table with several preparations. Something like this takes so well to it. It could have been something more savory with onions and mushrooms and herbs and cheese. Or it could have even been something more sweet with nuts and brown sugar and honey. I hope you enjoy. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at chef_Valmore. The links will be in the description of the video. Also, I'm going to put in the description some of the cookbooks I found. I really would like to get your idea of some of the other cookbooks you've seen out there that would be fun, nerdy cookbooks that would go well in the next part of these. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and come on back next week for another video.